then we'll dive into college football. Phillies, -0.5 a run. Why?
Because they just got swept by the Mets and they're back home, and they should pound Cal Quantrill, whose ERA is higher than a college student on peyote. They should be able to get to him at home. You look at the big bats in this Phillies lineup in the career against Cal Quantrill, who was both with Miami and Colorado prior to this. They banged him around. They have a collective team OPS of 925 against him. So I know Aaron Nola's not good, and this is like a great Yerfie game, by the way, although the juice is way too high. But I assume somebody will score a run in the first inning in this game. But I just trust the Phillies enough here at home with their bats to be able to jump all over Quantrill and get an early lead.
College football, it feels like tonight. I know week 1 really feels like it starts on Saturday, but it feels like we are in the actual official week now of college football. I know week 0 is fun. Week 1 really feels like it starts tonight, especially because I have the North Carolina roots. We just had former ECU quarterback Colton Nailers on. And now we've got ECU NC State tonight at Carter Finley in Raleigh. You're laying 13.5 with the Wolfpack. How are you laying double digits in this quote-unquote rivalry game?
Well, first of all, it wasn't a good week 0 if you were your friend Kelly in Vegas. Our friend did not have a good time.
Don't worry. I got that phone call. And trust me, no one wanted that call.
I bet the first half under in that game, so I was pretty happy. But nonetheless, yeah, NC State -13.5. Look, Dave Doran, for the first time in 5 seasons, didn't win 9 games last year. And this is revenge as revenge ever gets for what happened in the Military Bowl last year. You heard your friend talk about it. They won the game last year. It was like an 85-yard touchdown run with 90 seconds left. There was a brawl in the middle of the game. And NC State now is going up against an East Carolina defense. Your friends seem to downplay the Pirates defense, which returns only 2 starters from last year. NC State brings their quarterback back and 8 other players on the offense. The total in this thing is 61. It's all correlated. I got NC State team total over 37.5. I'll lay the 13.5 here. This is going to be a quick shootout. My guess is this ends like 40-24. That's what
I'm also hearing, and I wasn't going to put Holt in that situation, but there was a lot of drama in the last couple of weeks in Greenville with some coaches. I'm not diving into it because I don't want to ruin my relationship with the team because I know the team well. But I know that there's been a lot of drama, and I know that there's still drama that they're dealing with. There's just an investigation going on.
There was too much purple he was wearing in his talking points. I mean, not to disparage the young man. I know you're friends with him and everything. It seemed like it was.
No, I'm not saying this about Holt. I'm saying I wasn't going to ask him about this because I didn't want to put him in a bad situation.
Right.
But I know that the coaching staff, Holt's not on the coaching staff. Holt's not in the picture anymore. He just does media. But the coaches, there was some drama there, and it was a distraction for the team. So I have a big problem with taking points with ECU this week just because of the revenge spot. They're at Carter Finley, the drama off the field.
Yep.
First-year head coach, no longer interim, in Blake Harrell. So I have a lot of question marks around this ECU football team. NC State, like Holt said it correctly, they cannot lose this game. Dave Doran cannot lose this game because NC State fans already wanted Doran's head. They're really going to want his head if they lose to ECU, who is like the ugly stepbrother of the Carolina schools. And I hate to say it that way, but they are. And that's why it means so much more to the ECU fans. The NC State fans just assume they're going to win today.
Yeah. And the other part of it too, again, is that, I talked to a couple of people this morning. The over got hit heavy by a bunch of shark groups this morning. And the over money has been coming in all week long, which only favors NC State. They have the better, more competent offense here. And look, I would tell you, like I said, it's all correlated in the sense that I do kind of feel like ECU can get to 20 or in the low 20s, which means NC State has to get in the 40s to really cover this thing. So if you're not comfortable laying the 13.5, I certainly understand that. I endorse NC State team total over 37 and a hook. I also played that as well, but I'm willing to lay the 13.5 in case the game late slows down, the pace slows down. The Wolfpack here with the revenge factor on top of it. That stuff matters in college. It's not so much the NFL, but the revenge factor. These kids all remember what happened to them the last time these two teams played. So give me the Wolfpack here tonight with -13.5.
At 8 p.m. Eastern time, we've got Houston laying a big one, 22.5 against Stephen F. Austin, who is a really good Cinderella basketball school. So for football, Houston minus 22.5. How come this number's not too daunting?
Because I mean, here's the thing with the Cougars. First of all, they returned 15 starters, 8 of them on offense. They got a brand new quarterback in Connor Wegman, who was once the 5-star recruit that was supposed to set the college football world on fire, change the scenery from A&M, and the second year of Willie Fritz. If you guys remember Willie Fritz from Tulane, what did that offense do? Points, 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 move, 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 move. This is a Cougars team that is stacked up front on the offensive line. They have playmakers on both sides of the ball, particularly at tight end, and they have good running backs that they've brought in. So this is just about a kind of like real matchup here, Ariel, where the athletes for Stephen F. Austin just don't match up. Like they're going to be clearly overmatched here. I tend to bet bigger numbers and favorites in weeks 1, 2, and 3 of college football, and then I start flipping at Dog City. But you know that's the reason why these games are all tune-ups, right? Like Houston should win this thing by 30. Stephen F. Austin shouldn't really score more than 10 or 13 points in this game, and Houston should be in the 30s. Like it should be that easy when it comes to it here. So this is a spot here for Houston opening up at home. They returned 7 starters on defense. You know, last year they only gave up 22 points a game. This is still a really good defense, and they only gave up 5.1 yards per play last year. It's going to be a long night for Stephen F. Austin. Houston should roll here.
So no Cinderella like their college basketball team. Miami of Ohio, you're going very niche here. First half team total under of just 6.5.
I mean, look, a couple of things here. The under in this game is really the play as well. And 7 of the last 8 times that Wisconsin has played a non-conference game, they've gone under. This is not a Wisconsin offense I trust to lay points. I just don't, right? Like I don't. They are not a team that I want to an offense that I want to back. Period. That said, this is a Miami of Ohio offense, Ariel, that returns 0 starters, none, not a single one from last year. This is still a Wisconsin defense that will rule the day. Camp Randall, one of the toughest places to play, 9 o'clock start, under the lights. This is going to be a very daunting task for the Red Hawks here against a competent, smart, strong defense. As long as something quirky doesn't happen, as long as I don't get a stupid blown coverage and a guy gets a 65-yard touchdown pass, as long as Wisconsin doesn't turn the ball over inside their own 20-yard line. Like, in reality, if Miami gets 5 offensive possessions in the first half, which I don't think they'll do because what does Wisconsin do? Run on offense. They'll eat the clock up, right? If Miami gets 5 offensive possessions in the first half, do you think they're getting in a field goal range on 3 of them? Nope. I don't know that they score 10 points the entire game. I mean, this is as tune-up can be. Again, this is why you look at like teams and how many starters they return at the beginning of the year. It will take this offense 3 to 4 week Miami of Ohio's offense to get their legs underneath them, running a whole entire new set of guys. It's a bad recipe. I know this is a little exotic, and there's certainly ways you can look at that and go, this is going to go wrong, but little sprinkle here for me on this little exotic bet.
We are 2 days away, but we do have week 1 coming up on Saturday. I know a lot of people in the chat, they still want the big games, even though then they complain that you're only giving out the big games. We're going to give out some big games. What caught your eye on the board for the big Saturday slate?
Texas, Ohio State, first half under. Like, think about this objectively. Brand new starting quarterback at Ohio, and a quarterback who's got more pressure on him than you could imagine in Arch Manning getting the starting job for real. Last time I checked, these were 2 of the top 5 defenses in the country last year that are still going to be really, really good. Both of these coaches are smart enough not to give the game away being over-aggressive early and putting their young quarterback at a disadvantage. So what is that going to do? It's going to slow the pace down. They're going to keep the offense conservative. They'll take checkdowns, take underneath stuff, and make sure that they don't make the first mistake. Trust these defenses to go. Trust these defenses to be good. And guess what? We take the first half under.
How much is this game going to be reliant on Arch Manning and his Heisman odds?
I'm actually hoping, like, from the standpoint of Arch Manning's Heisman odds, it's a very mediocre to below average performance for him. Watch that number drop to about 9-1 and then hit it, right? It's no point to taking it now. When you can get other guys that are equal value, as far as their talent level and what do you call this concerned, at a better price. So I would hope that it's a little bit of a lackluster performance and that the odds come down. The one other game that I have circled on my card, I'll lay the 4.5 for Clemson. I mean,
okay.
I don't think we know. I think we're still undervaluing how good Clemson's going to be. Like, if I had to say somebody for not a Heisman candidate right now, Cade Klubnik would get my money. Like, that's the guy that I believe.
Well, they have the home field. They'll be at home up against LSU.
Yep. In the other Death Valley.
The other Death Valley.
But Klubnik is probably the most accomplished of everybody on that Heisman list. I mean, look, he came back for his senior year. He's been there forever. Like, that stuff matters when the same quarterback has been there that long. This will be an offense that's going to put up points. And I know LSU's defense has improved, but, go back to the last 2 years. It was really bad. It got better last year. I mean, how much did Brian Kelly recruit on the defensive side of the ball? We'll find out. But I still think that the better team at this point in time, by margin, is Clemson. Do you really see LSU going in there and winning this game without Clemson sort of handing it to them? If Clemson doesn't beat themselves, I don't think LSU can beat them. And I think Brian Kelly is an excellent coach. I think he's a great schemer. He's a good X's and O's coach. But I just don't know that right now that Nussmeier and that LSU offense rank above Clemson's.
Well, Clemson's at home. They get to set the tone on the year. You kind of know going into it that your rest of your conference sucks. So this is your big statement game. Then okay, we start out really strong. The rest of our year shouldn't be too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Clemson to win the AC. Well, okay, first, before we get to that, Earl Burton asked first, USF +5 and under 62.5. What are your thoughts?
Number came down from 5.5. I mean, listen, I don't want to lay 5.5 or 5 with Boise at this point in time, despite the fact being a better team. Look, and here's the thing too. That's weird because that game starts at it started like 5:40, right? It starts in like 15 minutes. Is when that
5:30, starting in 3 minutes.
Weird start time. Like if this was a 7:30 at night game, I'd be all over USF. It's just a weird window for them to be in. But I agree with you. The under is what I would take. The only way this thing goes over is if USF pushes into the high 20s, low 30s. And I don't know that their offense is competent enough to do it. So yeah, I lean under as well.
I love how it always is 5:30 when my parents leave that my dogs go crazy. It's always 5:30 every single time. I don't know why. My parents just left for a wedding, so I don't have anybody to help me anymore. So apologies to everybody on the dogs potentially barking. Clemson to win the ACC. Are you that confident?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you're getting a ton of value with that,
No.
as far as the price is concerned. You're better off with Clemson, in the realm. If you could find a, realm within the playoffs, Clemson to be the Final Four, make the championship game or whatever. I assume that their odds to make the college football playoff are a lot heavier than they are just to win the ACC. By the way, can I give you one more bet that I love for week 1 of college football?
We will take anything you've got.
Georgia Tech team total over 27.5 at Colorado. Undervalued Georgia Tech team. Undervalued Georgia Tech team. Haynes King is one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in the country.
You're not one of the first to come on the show. Someone else came on the show and gave out Georgia Tech just like season long. They said
I would sprinkle Georgia Tech to win the ACC for a goof.
That's crazy.
Why? I mean, the schedule is really favorable. They are a team right now that offensively is going to be one that could put up 40 points a game. They're going to be undervalued. They don't have, their defense probably still needs a little help. Tyler Santucci, who was the defense coordinator at Duke, took their defense back 1 year. And then he went on to the NFL to go coach for the Ravens, I think, right? Isn't that where Tyler Santucci is? I think he's a linebackers coach for the Ravens now. So they get Blake Gideon from Texas as their defense coordinator. They've got some work there, but they get Clemson at home in week 3. Like, if we assume that's the loss, their next toughest game on their schedule is Georgia. And it's the final game of the year that won't matter. Like, their ACC schedule is cakewalk. Going to Wake Forest may be a little bit tough, but it's Duke, NC State, and Boston College on the road. I mean, where is the Virginia Tech, Syracuse, and Pitt at home? Like that smells like 9 wins to me and a trip to the ACC title game.
You have to think outside of Clemson. Obviously, there's going to have to be somebody else who makes it to the ACC title game. Mm-hmm. I'm hearing a lot of Georgia Tech. Obviously, no one's going to want to put their money on UNC to do much. But what is your outlook on UNC and their new head coach, Bill Belichick?
What's their win total? 7.5, I think. I would take them to 8 wins. I would take over 8 wins. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why all of a sudden we think Bill Belichick can't coach. Like, that's a weird pivot to me.
It's very different.
I get it's different, but
you're limited on your practices. You can't maybe be as mean.
I get it. But it's Bill Belichick and it's football. Like, I mean, if I said to you Joe Torre had to go manage baseball right now, would you doubt that he could do it?
No, and that's why the Cincinnati Reds were one of the most bet on teams for futures this year because it was Tito Francona.
Same thing. Like, I just, Bill Belichick didn't forget football. He didn't stop learning how to coach. So they're going to be fundamentally sound. Do they have the horses in the barn, Ariel? Like, do they have the athletes?
It's just weird. They're playing Monday night, but.
Well, because it's Bill Belichick, that's why they're playing Monday night.
Right, of course.
Some other coach, they'd be playing Saturday at 12 o'clock in Chapel Hill.
Belichick without Brady.
No.
Hey, he wasn't really that good his last couple of years in New England.
Ariel, he dragged Mac Jones to the playoffs. Mac freaking Jones. Like, stop. He did it for 1 year. He can't do it every year. My God. Like, where do these I'm sorry. I don't mean to insult the listeners. Guys, that's an awful take. It is awful. Bill Belichick did not forget how to coach. Bill Belichick without Tom Brady did not forget how to win either. What happened is now, if you want to talk about Bill Belichick, the GM.
They're getting 3.5.
Okay, I get it. I don't love it. Like, I don't.
It's like you're getting 3.5 at home in a hyped up Bill Belichick game in your opener. That's a little alarming.
They're getting 3.5 because they don't really know what Belichick is yet. They're also getting 3.5 because this was a bad North Carolina team last year, that lost to UConn in their freaking bowl game. Like, it's not a stacked roster, right? It's not a roster and that's the thing. You're asking, what Belichick has always been good at is getting the most set of guys who are pretty average. He's going to have to do that this year. But college, you're right. That sense, college is different. We're talking about, thoroughbreds versus naggers.
We're talking about Bill Belichick, who put his players in the NFL in negative 40-degree weather in practice.
Okay.
You can't do that in the NCAA.
Sure you can. Just can't tell anybody about it. I mean,
yes. Well, that's why they say in college football you have to cheat.
I think one coach locked a kid in a closet at one point. So, I'm okay with 40.
Probably deserved it. It's fine. These kids today, they don't understand.
What I do to my kids.
You were in the military. They don't understand.
Toughen up, Buttercup.
Toughen up, Buttercup. Mark Zinno, thanks as always